Hello, I am Professor Dr. Deepika Srivastava from the English department. Today's lecture is meant for MA second semester students and it is my concluding lecture on David Copperfield, the most popular novel of Charles Dickens. Let me refresh your memory. I have already given detailed lectures on the age of Dickens. Then I spoke on Dickens and his emotional complexes, and then I concentrated on David Copperfield. We have discussed certain aspects of David Copperfield, like the most important is that it is an autobiographical novel. It shows the growth of the child David till he reaches adulthood. And it is in the first person narrative. It is narrated by David himself. These are the 3 or 4 main things you must keep in mind. Now, the novel has stories within stories and all are equally enthralling. All characters have their own importance, but the plot revolves around David himself, that is the hero. We have already discussed the plot structure and now we come to David Copperfield's love life. He has fallen in love with a very beautiful, charming young girl by the name of Dora. And she is also madly in love with David. So they decide to get married. However, the married life is full of hardships because she is not able to manage the household duties. She is sweet looking, very pretty, and she is modeled on Charles Dickens' first lover, that was Maria Beadnell. Maria Beadnell too was very charming like Dora, but she rebuffed him and went off to Paris. He could never get over this first love affair of his life, and so Dora is based and she is just as frivolous as Maria Beadnell. However, despite her shortcomings, David loves her and treats her with utmost respect. Gradually, the young Dora, who is the child wife of David, she falls sick and ultimately dies. This death is given an air of solemnity and it is one of the serious episodes of David Copperfield. Why? Because it is based on the death of his sister-in-law, Charles Dickens' sister-in-law, Mary Hogarth, whom I had mentioned when I was telling you about Charles Dickens' emotional complexes. And with the utmost respect, he bids farewell to the first wife, that is Dora. After Dora's death, Dickens had to bring the novel to its climax. It was high time that David understood that life is not a bed of roses and he has to be successful and he has to achieve heights which he had imagined as a child. So he starts his writing career and goes abroad just like his creator Charles Dickens. While he is abroad, he remembers with longing his girl companion Agnes, and on his return, when he comes to London, he contacts her and he marries her. This was also rather shocking because in the Victorian era, a second wife was unimaginable. Charles Dickens himself had a very stormy married life, but he never thought of divorcing her, Catherine Hogarth, and marrying someone else. But here in David Copperfield, he not only marries Agnes, but he also gives her all the respect which a wife can get. Here, I want to bring in a sense of humor that just as in Indian households, the sister-in-laws, the salis, they are given better treatment than the wives themselves by the husband. So, which which tradition has been borrowed from which tradition? The English tradition has come to India, or the Indian tradition has reached England, I can't say. But he was so unhappy with Catherine, but he was very, very close with both the sisters-in-law, Mary and afterwards Georgina. And Agnes is based on the second sister-in-law, who was in all respects as good as a wife, but he never married her. So Agnes is modeled on this lovely lady. Ultimately, the story comes to an end. He is a successful man, just like his creator, Charles Dickens, and he starts writing. He has a very happy married life with Agnes, and just like Charles Dickens, the couple have many children. So it is a rags to riches story which all readers like all over the world. It has a happy ending. Now, that was the novel, and I have a few important other things to discuss related with Charles Dickens and David Copperfield. Now, we often hear of a term Dickensian. What does it mean? It denotes anything related with Dickens and his novels, like the social conditions that were prevalent in the Victorian era, the comic or repulsive character sketches, we have so many of them, right, in David Copperfield, like Uriah Heep, like other repulsive characters, Murdstone, and so many. These are also called the grotesque characters, typical Dickensian character. Another thing which I noted and which I want to convey to you is that the novel is based on the Picaresque novel. Picaresque novel, you must have all heard and understood what it means. Next thing is that the creator, that is Charles Dickens, he pondered a lot while giving names to his characters. He paid a lot of attention. I will give you an example. Mr. Murdstone, Miss Murdstone. The name itself gives images of murder, Murdstone, and coldness. Uriah Heep, you know that he is a character who is shady and nobody can trust him. But let us come to the name David. David is a biblical character taken from the Bible, and it is the hero's name. And here in the Bible, he is the third king of Israel and Judah, and he is the father of Solomon. Who was Solomon? He is supposed to be the most intelligent person ever on this earth. And so, David Copperfield has the making of this great man whose name has been taken from the Bible. Another name I'll give here is Micawber. It is a name that hints that he is a nice person, a trustworthy person, a person who will always be helpful. Peggotty. It is a homely name. Peggotty, whoever is name is Peggotty, is a homely person who will help, aunt-like and a matron-like name. and Peggotty was a second mother to the young David. Dora, Dora is unapproachable. Dora is someone whom you will, feel a bit scared of. While Agnes is angel life. So all these names have very important significance. And so on and so forth. I just gave you a few examples for you to remember. Now, when I am discussing names, I would like to tell you about Great Expectations Estella. Why? Because this name was based on Ellen Ternan, who was Charles Dickens' mistress, 18 years old and as young as his youngest daughter. The youngest among the 10 children Charles Dickens had. So, this was an aspect I wanted to point out, that he has given the names some significance, and all important characters have some story or the other behind their names. To conclude, we can say that this is a novel written by a novelist who is very successful. And not only that, he did not have any formal education. Whatever he wrote, it was his own talent. And David Copperfield is his most successful novel. Both the creator and the creation, they are remarkable. Many people say that it is an overrated novel, which I am not going to believe. Because if you say that Thackeray was more important than Charles Dickens, then who has read novels of Thackeray? But if you come across any student or lover of English literature, they have all read Charles Dickens and maybe David Copperfield. It is my favorite novel too, and I can say this with great pleasure. Next, I want to just tell you that it was also Leo Tolstoy's favorite novel, though I am nothing in comparison, but it is his favorite novel, it is Charles Dickens' favorite novel, and it is my favorite novel. I will also give you the name of Vincent van Gogh. He was a Dutch painter, very famous Dutch painter, and his paintings are worth millions and millions of pounds. Now, he has painted many scenes based on Charles Dickens' novel in general and David Copperfield in particular. And we are always fond of this rags to riches stories, which David Copperfield is. So, to conclude my lecture, I would just like to say that we are hypnotized by his novels, we are hypnotized by his characters, we weep when they weep, we smile when they smile, and we have a connection with their characters, whether they are great or whether they are unimportant, insignificant. With these words, I conclude my lectures on Charles Dickens and David Copperfield. Thank you.